They told you they loved you, and maybe, just for a moment, you actually believed them. Not just in your mind, but in the deepest parts of your being. You let your guard down. You handed them your heart, wide open. You gave them your trust, your time, your softness, and they said they loved you. But then, something changed. Maybe they disappeared without explanation, or worse, maybe they stayed, but turned into someone you didn't recognize. Suddenly, the warmth that once wrapped around you like a blanket turned ice cold. The person who once made you feel seen, held, understood, now made you feel small, unsure, unworthy. You lie awake at night, staring into the silence, wondering, if they really loved me, why did they hurt me? It's a question that haunts millions, but Sigmund Freud had an answer. Not a comforting one, not gentle, but a truth carved from the hidden chambers of the unconscious mind. Freud believed that people don't even fully know themselves. They may smile, give affection, promise forever, but behind all of that lies a tangled world within. A world ruled not by logic, but by old wounds and invisible fears. He said that most of our actions are not born from who we consciously think we are, but from what we've buried, forgotten, or never dared to face. This inner world, the unconscious, is filled with not just desires, but also shame, guilt, fear, longing, and childhood pain that never found healing. So when it comes to love, what does that mean? It means that sometimes love doesn't heal someone. It exposes them. It doesn't always bring out their highest self. It awakens their deepest insecurities. Picture this. Someone grows up in a home where love had conditions. They only felt affection when they obeyed, succeeded, or stayed silent. They learned early on that love isn't safe. Love is a transaction, a performance, a trap. So they built walls. They wore masks. They became good at pretending, and even better at hiding. Then they meet you, and suddenly, your presence is disarming. Your honesty, your warmth, your emotional openness. It reminds them of something long forgotten, a kind of safety that terrifies them, a kind of love that doesn't demand a performance, that doesn't punish them for being soft, afraid, or flawed. And now, their internal alarm bells go off. Because this safety, the one they secretly craved their whole life, also threatens the survival system they've spent years perfecting. This is where Freud's idea of defense mechanisms enters the picture. Because when someone feels emotionally threatened, not in danger but seen, their unconscious pulls the fire alarm. Their inner protectors step in. Denial, projection, displacement, withdrawal, rationalization, even cruelty at times. They don't wake up thinking, today I'm going to hurt the person who loves me. They often don't even realize what they're doing, because it's not their conscious mind in control. It's something older, deeper, more primitive. Inside, there's a frightened voice whispering, this is too close, too vulnerable, too real, and when the soul feels exposed, it doesn't always open up. Sometimes, it shuts down. You might say, but I was kind to them. I was patient. I loved them without conditions. Yes, and that's exactly what shook their foundations. Because real love, the kind that sees without judgment, that holds without pressure, doesn't just comfort. It confronts. It brings buried wounds to the surface. It makes the unconscious conscious. And not everyone is ready for that kind of awakening. Sigmund Freud called this phenomenon the return of the repressed. You see, whatever we push down, pain, fear, shame, unmet needs, it never really goes away. It hides. It waits. And then, love arrives. Love, sincere, open-hearted, unfiltered, becomes the mirror. And suddenly all those hidden fragments begin to rise. This is why someone who swore they loved you can turn cold, lie to you, neglect you, betray you, leave you in pieces. It's not always about a lack of love. It's about a war inside of them. A war between what they long for and what they fear. Between the person they want to become and the one they've been pretending to be for so long. Sometimes, when someone looks at you, they see not just you, but a reflection of everything they never received as a child. And that contrast can feel unbearable. They may not be able to accept love without expecting it to vanish. So they destroy it before it has the chance to leave them. It's not logic, it's survival. It's the unconscious saying, "Let me leave before I'm left. Let me hurt before I'm hurt." Freud called this tragic pattern repetition compulsion. It's the mind's strange and heartbreaking attempt to relive old traumas in the hope that, this time, the story will end differently. But more often than not, it doesn't. The wound only deepens. And now, here you are, holding on to a memory of who they were at the beginning. So gentle, so attentive, so beautifully broken in ways that made you want to stay. You saw the light in them. You believed in their healing. You hoped your love would be enough. But now, you have to ask yourself something hard. Was that version of them ever fully real? Or was it a mask? A glimpse of who they wanted to be before the shadow took over? No, you didn't imagine the love. That warmth you felt, those shared moments, the silent understanding, they were real. But maybe you imagined the healing. You thought love would be the cure. You believed that if you just gave enough, held on long enough, forgave often enough, they would finally choose healing, choose growth, choose you. But Freud would whisper something difficult. You cannot rescue someone from their own shadow. You cannot love someone out of their trauma, because healing is not gifted, it's chosen. And many people never choose it. So what do you do with all the hurt? You grieve, not just for the relationship that broke apart, but for the version of you who once believed pain was the price of love. You grieve the self who thought they had to earn affection by enduring silence, neglect, betrayal. You grieve the parts of you that thought intensity meant intimacy, that chaos meant connection. And then, you rise. You come back to yourself. You stop asking, "Why did they hurt me?" and start asking, "Why did I stay after they did?" Because here's a truth you may have avoided. Love should not break you. It should grow you, expand you, challenge you, yes, but never crush you. Freud taught us that the human mind is layered in defense. We wear masks. We build walls. We protect our deepest wounds by pretending they're not there. But he also showed us this. Awareness is power. Once you understand the unconscious patterns, you stop blaming yourself for someone else's fear. You stop personalizing their avoidance, their absence, their coldness. So if they said they loved you and still hurt you, please understand. Their love may have been real, but their fear was louder. Their love wanted to reach you, but their fear kept it locked inside. And love that comes from an unhealed place? It always feels confusing. It makes you question instead of feel certain. It keeps you longing instead of feeling safe. It becomes something you chase, not something that stays. But you deserve a love that doesn't make you beg for clarity. You deserve a love that holds steady when things get real. A love that doesn't vanish when your soul starts showing. A love that doesn't punish you for being deep, emotional, or raw. You deserve someone who doesn't just say, "I love you," but shows it in the quiet, in the hard moments, in the way they don't run when it gets too close. Their pain was never your fault, but your healing, that is yours to claim. And it begins right now.